TV app. I'm Zoe, and this is Paul.
Dobby.
On March 18th. Whose kids are those? They're all ours. She provides a dozen. I enjoy being with my kids. I do too. I do too. You guys are funny. It's Disney Plus. I'm fine. Just for being so average on the label, it's average looks and ordinary body. She provides a dozen. Streaming March 18th only on Disney Plus.
Dobby.
Your performance. Elevate your confidence.
Dobby, 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 Dobby.
Now comes standard on all 2022 CX5 models.
Dobby, 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 Dobby.
Tired of wrestling with seemingly impossible cleaning tasks?
Dobby, Dobby, Dobby.
Wipes in the kitchen can be ineffective. Try Mr. Clean Magic Eraser. Simply add water.
He's probably like, he woke me up.
Mr. Clean Magic
What is your problem?
Dobby.
She made the choice to get her COVID-19 booster. Well done, Sophia. Choose to boost.
Dobby, Dobby, Dobby.
Folks ask me why their dishwasher doesn't get everything clean. I tell them,
Dobby.
more dishwasher brands recommend Cascade Platinum. The soaking, scrubbing, and rinsing go right in. For sparkling clean dishes the first time. Cascade Platinum.
I think Dobby's learning too. Because she's waiting by the food dishes and stuff. He was just sitting with her. Squeaky? You already downstairs? Did he miss a few? Here she comes.
This program contains coarse language and mature subject matter. Viewer discretion is advised.
Cut my hair off.
Welcome back. Beyond the humanitarian crisis caused by Russia's invasion of Ukraine, the war has introduced countless other threats. One of the most terrifying is cyber attacks. To find out more, I decided to finally learn how the internet works. Cream cheese has been
Kitty, 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 kitty.
Cream cheese, cream cheese, cream cheese.
There's a cream cheese shortage.
It's smear chaos across the country. Everybody's freaking out.
It's kind of scary. And I needed to know why. I'm here to talk about the cream cheese. According to my sources, this isn't just about the supply chain. It's actually hackers. So I'm meeting with cybersecurity expert Dr. Rebecca Wright. Why cream cheese, though? Why not those sexy M&M peanuts? They're just sitting there waiting to be held hostage.
And maybe they will be. I mean, it really can be anything from the food infrastructure, like the cream cheese attack, to things like the colonial pipeline attack, healthcare, so hospitals. Any place you've got computer systems and a network, there is vulnerability. The stakes are high, and it's really quite terrifying.
Okay. Cyber attacks have caused over $1 trillion worth of damage. Millions of it, most likely from cream cheese. In this case, attackers cyber attacked Charlotte, one of the biggest cream cheese manufacturers, holding their servers hostage.
Typically,
Tonks.
attackers will look for a way into a computer system, and then there's a screen takeover with a message denying you access to your files or threatening to share your data with someone else to convince that business to pay some ransom.
If it were me holding cream cheese hostage, I would have asked for billions, not millions.
We all need our cream cheese.
If a shortage of cream cheese isn't enough to get public attention on this matter, I don't know what is. No, I actually
Tonks
do
is being a
know
pain.
what is. Russia.
The Department of Homeland Security issued a new warning about Moscow having the capability to carry out a range of cyber attacks against important websites and critical
Assume that doesn't know what happens when I go like that. Sorry in advance.
Oh, that's just Nicole Perlroth, author of This Is How They Tell Me the World Ends. But I think we all know how the world ends.
The same attack that cyber criminals used on cream cheese could be used
Sorry for the long,
by
long
a Russian
road.
state operation or by Russian cyber criminals to shut our systems down.
Attacks on U.S. oil are very
just in the last week, after Russia
So if I do that, game options,
criminal groups that have been
gameplay.
American businesses like their cream cheese company came out and straight up said that they're an extension of the Kremlin and that
Only
they
active
attack
house.
the critical infrastructure of any country
And
that tries to.
I'm gonna kind of make them short.
We're sort of in this nightmare scenario right now. You know, first it's cream cheese, next it could be your water, your power, your bank, or all just sitting ducks.
Well, that's much worse, and much, much worse
I don't know
for
what
the
those
people
are,
of
but
Ukraine.
Ukraine set up an IT army and basically said, hey, hackers of the world, help us by hacking Russian interests and causing as much mayhem as you
apply those
possibly
changes. So here my Sims can age up on their own without me doing it.
For fun to root for anonymous, because what the Russians are doing is so horrible and hard to watch. The danger of this is escalation.
Taxes being a pain, as always.
Thinly veiled attack by the CIA or the NSA against Western interests, Western infrastructure. Where does this all go?
Okay, well, that's terrifying. So while we wait for private companies and the federal government to get their shit together, there are actual steps that regular individuals can take. It's something called cyber hygiene. What is cyber hygiene? Because we don't maybe practice the best hygiene, like in general. Yes, cyber hygiene really can refer to things like choosing good passwords and not reusing them, backing up files, having up-to-date software systems. So you're asking people to prepare. Absolutely. Okay, preparedness and long game is not our strong suit. But experts say we could end 80% of these cyber attacks tomorrow just by spending 30 seconds setting up two-factor authentication. Oh, God, I'm not going to do it. Oh, it's so confusing. Such a boring process. It's not
Takes
the
so long
sexiest
to
thing to
load.
think about, but we are at risk and it's important. See, that is why you need to choose an impenetrable password like mine. Cream Cheese Lover 69. Use it for every single
You guys are back coming in. Put the last bathroom in.
I will change it now. I'm sure it's fine. We'll be right back. Imagine life without interruption. Imagine play without delay. Imagine diabetes without routine finger pricks. Imagine more with the Freestyle Libre 2 system. Flash glucose monitoring with optional alarms that let you know the minute glucose is too high or too low. Available
How was that?
or no. Embrace an easy and convenient way
I
of
forgot
measuring
the bag, but
glucose.
oh well.
It's freedom.
But he
Reimagine.
pooped?
Join
Yep.
the Freestyle Libre 2 system for free at myfreestyle.ca.
No, that's the app's notification sound.
With this, my secret is a new secret recipe.
And if it messages me on that app, that's the tone.
So it works.
But I can change yours if you want.
Spray fresh, stay fresh.
Come here, Dobby.
Secret.
Dobby, 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 Dobby.
Nothing comfortable about stress.
Come here, I'll take that off you.
Restorelax relieves constipation gently.
You see, Mom?
Gas, bloating, cramping, or
Dobby, 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 Dobby.
take comfort in Restorelax.
Dobby.
Fiber
Dobby, 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 Dobby.
Tonic fiber. The power of a deep clean and minutes turn Mr. Clean clean free. Unlike bleach spray, clean free begins deep clean on contact. 3 times the cleaning power of
You still gonna go after them, are ya?
Alright.
They're both coming at ya.
What do you guys want?
She just did circles.
What?
She just did circles. Like turn around circles.
Oh, yeah. Oh.
Today is the first chapter of my next great love story.
Today is the first chapter of my next great
Love story.
Talk to her.
Say what?
I think you're gonna like me.
The life. Requesting emergency assistance. Everything. High Octane series. It's one that we now
Americans.
Go Big Show, all new Friday at 10 on CTV Comedy Channel. Wipeout, all new Tuesday at 10 on CTV Comedy Channel. This program contains coarse language and mature subject matter. Viewer discretion is advised.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't care that she's in there. You don't have to be.
Women's History Month, and yes, of course we have a wish list. Thanks so much for asking. This is what we want.
You know what I want? You know what I'd like? I'd really like the right to do whatever we want with our bodies. First, I wanted to ask me, who are you wearing? And my answer to be the skin of my enemies.
For you to quit explaining crypto to me, I do not care. I'll never care.
I would like for there to be a period underwear commercial that precedes every beer commercial. For all the Texas lawmakers and Supreme Court justices that upheld the abortion ban to take their hands out of our vaginas and put them into a running garbage disposal. I'd like to not have to remind people that trans women are women too.
Is that too much to ask?
You know what I'd like? 5 more Ronan Farrows. Shampoo that also gets you high. Porn that ends with the woman finishing. Every time Joe Rogan talks, 2 women get equal pay. An electric training collar that will buzz me every time I say I'm sorry for something that wasn't my fault.
The right to lick this goddamn
I get shocked all the time.
be the CEO.
Free healthcare? I don't know, I'm just spitballing. Don't call me ma'am.
President Biden came out and he signed an executive order today, a cryptocurrency executive order, where he has ordered that the United States investigates cryptocurrency and figure out if it should be regulated or if America should create its own cryptocurrency, or like what a cryptocurrency is.
Yeah.
And this is where you realize how crazy cryptocurrency is. Normally executive orders are like, ban all Muslims, change the economy, send money to people. And then with cryptocurrency, like, let's find out what like this thing is. Yeah. Should we do it?
That's intriguing. If you just signed that in just recently, I wonder if that affected the market.
What's it all about? And Sandra O. This is the Daily Show with Trevor Noah. Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to the Daily Show. I'm Trevor Noah, and joining me for today's headlines is the one and only Desi Lydic. What's going on, Desi? How you doing?
Hey, I'm great. Hey, happy International Women's Day.
Right?
Right?
I mean, yesterday?
Yeah. I mean, technically, it was a couple days ago, but I like to celebrate it the way I celebrate my birthday, all week long.
I like that.
Yeah.
And you know what? You deserve it. Just
Thank you.
as long as you want to celebrate it for.
Thank you. I'm going to write it out.
I like that. Okay. I mean, your birthday is only on one day, though. That's different.
Well, for you, but I celebrate for the entire week, top to bottom. You'll
Okay.
see in June.
I hope not, but yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Happy birthday.
Thank you.
All right, let's jump straight into today's headlines. We kick things off with the Russian invasion of Ukraine, or as Prince William calls it, the brown thing happening to white people war. Today, Russia and Ukraine held their first high-level peace talks, but please do not get your hopes up. Not only did Russia not agree to end the war, it wouldn't even admit that it started a war. Yeah, Russia's foreign minister, Sergei Lavrov, was asked if they planned to invade any other countries, and his answer was, quote, "We are not planning to attack other countries, and we did not attack Ukraine," end quote. Which is obviously a lie. And it's also not reassuring for the rest of Europe. Yeah, now we're not attacking Poland, now we're not attacking Paris, now we're not taking over the world. What are you guys complaining about, huh? And by the way, if Lavrov is denying that Russia is attacking Ukraine,
How is that
then
not
what's he
even
attending peace
inside?
talks for? Huh?
Seriously.
What, he wants Ukraine to stop blowing up Russian missiles with their maternity wards? Get the out of here, man. So for now, the war is unfortunately continuing. And not only is the war continuing, it's even spilling over into space.
This morning, the International Space Station in political crosshairs as Russia retaliates against American sanctions. The head of the Russian Space Agency, Dmitry Rogozin, posting this video on social media threatening to abandon American astronaut Mark Vande Hei at the station. He's supposed to return home on a Russian ship in just 3 weeks. Rogozin also making an ominous threat that without Russian Russian help to move the ISS away from space junk, the ISS would crash into America or other countries.
Wow, this is wild. Russia is so mad about sanctions that it's threatening to abandon an American astronaut in space and allow the International Space Station to crash into Earth. And I mean, this is obviously a horrible threat to make, but I will admit this. I do kind of see Russia's side. I do. I'm not for Russia, but I see it. I mean, flying someone home from space is a huge favor to do, especially for an enemy. You know, it's like picking them up from the airport 1,000,000 times over. And also, why didn't America get this astronaut down before this war escalated? Huh? They knew he was hitching a ride on a Russian thing. It's like when you quit a job and then you storm out of the office cursing at everyone. Yeah, suck my d. And then you realize you left your phone behind. Oh, man. Oh, shit. Yeah, I'm sorry about that, sir. I didn't realize it was still charging. Yeah, but text me about sucking my d. You know, people, this is exactly why America needs to start some sorts of military force to defend space. Think about it, right? What they could do is have it up there defending all of space on America's behalf. What's that? Oh, it did? And I call it the military's version of University of Phoenix? Huh, that's funny, but that doesn't sound like something I would say. Yeah, no, that's not me. Desi, would you fetch someone stranded in space?
No, never. I won't pick anyone up at the airport. Not even my husband. My husband's been living at LaGuardia for the last 3.5 months. Like that Tom Hanks movie. Sometimes I'll Venmo him for a Cinnabon, just to keep the sparks alive. But no. Also, this really proves my point that you have to overpack for everything, because you never know. People are like, oh, don't overpack, it costs more money, it takes up more space. No, now you're stranded in space, and you're going to want those 2 extra books in your Diva cup.
I hear you there.
Not that my Diva cup takes up a lot of space. It's a very normal, compact item. Doesn't take up much space. You know.
No, I don't know. I understand.
Do you think you can actually use a Diva cup in space? Gravity is a tricky thing, huh? How does gravity work? I'll circle back.
Okay, cool. Okay, I've limited experience in this field, so you got that. All right. We're going to be talking more about Russia and Ukraine later on in the show, but let's move on. Because it turns out there is another terrifying invasion that's in the news right now.
Very soon you may be seeing a massive new spider right in your own backyard. Now comes the Juro spider. Native to Asia, it was first spotted in Georgia nearly a decade ago. They've since spread across the southeast, with some using their parachute-like silks to travel in the wind. A new study at the University of Georgia predicts the Juro spiders will make their way up the east coast this spring. It's unclear how far north they'll go, but they'll be hard to miss, growing up to 3 inches long. And to end, that's as wide as your palm. People are going to have to learn to appreciate spiders, because this spider isn't going anywhere.
Okay, this guy's clearly never met humans. Right? Because when we're afraid of something, we don't try and learn to appreciate it. We try and destroy it at all costs. That's what humans do. The scientist is going to sit there and tell us we need to sit back and learn to appreciate spiders? What kind of rational bullshit is that? Pick up a broom and join the fight, you coward! You know, sometimes I don't understand nature. Why did it feel the need to create something like this? Huh? Spiders that have parachutes and fly around? You know, with some things, you get why they exist. Like how plants put oxygen into the atmosphere, and how birds evolve into chickens so we can make delicious sandwiches. But giant spiders? Was Mother Nature like, people's nightmares have become too boring, let's spice things up? You can't even kill that thing with a regular shoe. Do you see the size? You probably need like a Shaq-sized shoe. Yeah, so thanks, spiders. Now I'm gonna break into Shaq's house and steal his shoes again. And by the way, if you think a giant spider is bad, wait until we see the giant pig the giant spider is gonna become best friends with. This thing is a disaster. It's all a disaster. I don't know why everyone isn't panicking. I mean, it's probably because scientists say that we actually shouldn't be worried. That's what they say. These spiders are actually completely harmless to people. Yeah. They're not even bad for the ecosystem. Which actually makes me feel a little bit better, I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, because last night I had a dream that those spiders crawled into my ear and laid eggs in my brain. And then now, every time I keep quiet, I feel like I can hear something. Anyway, dreams are weird. Desi, are you freaked out by spiders?
Nah, I'm not afraid of these spiders coming to New York at all. No, because nothing can be more devastating than Spider-Man on Broadway. Like ruptured
How is this
eardrums,
not a room?
broken bones, bad reviews. Terrible. Nothing can be worse than that. Plus, I feel like the Manhattan cockroaches have just kind of gotten complacent lately with the pandemic. Like, they don't even scatter when you turn the lights on anymore. I come home and turn the lights on, and they're like, ah, Desi, you're home late. I'm, like, very confident. So I'm excited about these spiders.
You have an interesting perspective on life. I like that.
Yeah, I do.
All right, let's move away from spiders to someone else who's got America ensnared in her web. I'm talking about Kim Kardashian, influencer, business mogul, and Instagram's final boss. To promote the new Kardashian show that's launching on Hulu, Kim and her sisters gave an interview to Variety, where they talked about their lives and their business strategies. But one clip that's gone viral has rubbed many people the wrong way.
Kim Kardashian has sparked outrage among some people after offering women career advice during a recent interview with Variety magazine. Here's what she said.
I have the best advice for women in business. Get your f***ing ass up and work. It seems like nobody wants to work these days. You have to surround yourself with people that want to work. No toxic work environments, and show up and do the work.
Okay. I know a lot of people are pissed off at Kim. I know. But if I'm being perfectly honest, I can see this thing from both sides. I honestly can. Like, I can see it from Kim's side. I can see it from Kim's side. You know? She's like, you guys think I just take a few pictures.
She pissing you off, or you playing all by yourself?
Famous, and you think it's easy, but it's not easy.
Better A, better B, a little shitload of she.
A lot of work. She grinds all the time. She's a shrewd businesswoman, and she's a mom to Kanye and the kids. But part of this idea that people have of Kim is Kim's fault. I mean, think about it. For decades, the thing that she's sold is not work. Yeah, in fact, she works really hard to look like she's not working hard. Every photo on Instagram, she's either on a beach, or in a pool, or in a hot tub. Basically, any relaxing body of water, she's there. You know, so I get why people have the idea that she doesn't work, because you don't see it. You know, I mean, maybe Kim should put that stuff on Instagram. You know, put up photos of late-night meetings, constant calls on product design. I mean, you can still do it in a bikini if you want, but the point is, you know, people should see more of the work. They'd understand. Like, take The Rock. Here's an example. Look at The Rock, right? Because of his social media, I know what it takes to become The Rock. I know if I'm going to try to become like him, I've got to wake up at 4 a.m. every day, lift every weight in the gym, and try not to laugh every time I have to work with Kevin Hart. I mean, how can you not? He's like he's a human, but he's like the size of a little Kevin, I got you. Kevin, he's in my pocket right now. Damn. But here's the thing that maybe Kim Kardashian doesn't understand. It can come off as extremely condescending to tell women that the reason they're not successful is because they're too lazy to get off their asses and actually work. Because yes, Kim Kardashian works hard, but you know who else works hard? Most women. But what their asses don't have is Kim's luck to be born into a rich family with a famous lawyer parent and an even more famous Olympian step-parent. And all the access and the connections that brings you. Think about it. If you're lucky to have that, then yeah, there's a good chance that your hard work is going to make you successful. But don't forget how much luck has to do with that success. Anyone who says, just work hard and things will work out, those people are forgetting a major component known as luck. A lot of people work hard and they're still broke. In fact, a lot of the time,
Don't lick my nipple.
The harder you probably work. Yeah, my grandma.
Don't lick my nipple.
But I'm bowling circles around that woman. Yeah, you hear that, Gogo? You can't touch me. You can't touch me. And by the way, happy birthday, Gogo. She just turned 95. Yeah, she did. So, just think about it. I get it from everyone's point of view. You know, Desi, as a failed Instagram influencer yourself, what do you think about this?
Well, I'm not so much failed as blocked. It's more of a legal issue, but we're getting into semantics. I feel like For Kim, she didn't really have the time to go into the fact that she was born into privilege in such an expanded way. So I feel like this was her short answer, right? It's the I drink a lot of water of the finance world. Like when you know celebrities spend 30 hours a week looking as gorgeous as they do, and they're like, I drink a lot of water. I feel like that's kind of what she was doing, right? But telling women to work hard isn't wrong. I mean, that's not bad advice. In fact, it's kind of inspiring to me because she's right.
Get off me.
Get off my ass and stop doing nothing with my life. I mean, literally nothing. Look at me. I'm doing nothing. What am I even doing?
Well, I don't think you're doing nothing.
You gotta do something.
No, Desi, you're working here.
You gotta do something.
Desi, you have a job.
I'm gonna get a job. I'm gonna get a job.
Desi, you have a job.
No, I mean like a real job. You can keep me on payroll though.
Did you just say a real job like what we do here isn't? Wow, that hurts. Good luck out there, Desi. All right. I'm gonna take a moment to process that pain, and while I do that, don't go away, because when we come back, we're gonna be looking at the Russian oligarchs who might be the key to stopping Putin's war. You don't want to miss it. Desi, you do have a job.
Domino's, you have a million chances for something to go wrong. You have one chance for everything to go wrong.
Your attitude is right.
And the whole thing is gone. Are you ready? This is so stressful.
Eric Stone Street host.
What's your issue?
Domino Masters, all new Wednesday, only on CTV. Then stream anytime. You ready, B? All I need is like, it's me and my girlfriend. Anything necessary for you. Anything necessary for us. So don't let the necessary
All 2022 series.
You were too fucking funny, dog.
HelloFresh. Just about everything you need to make home cooking easy. Whatever your plans, from midweek meals and minutes to show-stopping family feasts, you're covered. Order your box now at HelloFresh.ca.
Before he was a champion, Sidney Crosby was an 18-year-old phenom. In this original audio documentary event from Audible, Sidney tells the story of his debut season in his own words. There was definitely a lot of pressure. Can't be just okay. Gotta go there and be ready. Listen now to Sidney Crosby, The Rookie Year, only from Audible.
Did somebody say,
You deliberate like a G. See, hungry dogs gotta eat. I get mine every day, every week. Chicken wings to the crib, I'm sitting. Did somebody say,
If you changed, you wouldn't have come here. If you'd really changed, you wouldn't have let me. Do you know that fable about the scorpion and the frog? They both die. Because the scorpion can't change its nature. Maybe you're the scorpion.
Closed captioning of this program is brought to you in part by Aleve. When pain happens,
What are you doing?
believe it. For fast pain relief that lasts up to 12 hours.
Welcome back to The Daily Show. Ever since Russia invaded Ukraine, America and Europe have been trying to find a balance between helping Ukraine whilst also avoiding going to war with Russia themselves. Because nobody wants World War III. I mean, other than defense contractors and those people who sell merch in the trenches. But One of the weapons the West has been using against Russia is sanctions. Yes, which comes from the Latin sanctio, meaning to mess with someone else's shit. Yeah, whether it's military, diplomatic, or financial, the ultimate goal of these sanctions is to turn up the pressure on Russia so that it ends Ukraine's conservatorship and finally sets it free. And one of the most significant sanctions America and Europe have imposed is going after oligarchs.
Tonight, the U.S. is moving to tighten the squeeze on Vladimir Putin and the oligarchs, the richest Russians who surround him.
The administration, along with Britain and Europe, introducing a raft of sanctions targeting oligarchs and their families, even President Putin.
These tough new measures are designed to hurt those closest to Putin. Figures who until now have seemed untouchable, now clear targets.
Britain's threat to the Russian oligarchs, 7 of them sanctioned, including Roman Abramovich, the owner of the Chelsea Football Club. That club can no longer sell tickets, it can't sign new contracts, and it cannot be sold.
Italy seized an oligarch's $70 million yacht.
French officials seized the Amore Vero, about 280 feet long, with multiple VIP suites and a pool that turns into a helipad.
Damn! That guy has a boat that has a pool that turns into a helipad? Do you know how rich a person has to be to have a mode of transportation that carries another mode of transportation? And it sits on a body of water while it carries a body of water. That's money. I mean, think about it. A pool that turns into a helipad. Wow. The only thing better than that would be a pool that stays a pool.
www.
Yeah, maybe it's just me, but one of my favorite things about relaxing in a pool is not worrying if a helicopter is going to land on me. It's part of the pleasure I get.
www.
But yes, Europe and America are handling Putin the way you handle any breakup, by blocking him and all his friends. And you might be wondering, well, the oligarchs didn't start the war. They're not ordering troops to bomb hospitals, so why are they being targeted by the sanctions? Well, let's find out why in another installment of If You Don't Know, Now You Know. So, first things first, who are the oligarchs? And I know oligarch sounds like a creature chasing Frodo in Middle-earth, but it's actually just a fancy term for a group of super rich billionaires in Russia. But it's how these billionaires got that way that makes them interesting.
After almost 70 years of Russian communism, where the state controlled everything, the Russian people saw huge political and economic change practically overnight. For a select few businessmen known as oligarchs, they managed to rise to the top.
Soviet Union, all land and all property was owned by the state. In the 1990s, it was privatized, and the most valuable companies were landed in the hands of these business people, mostly oil and gas and mineral companies. Under the Putin era, he took some of the assets from the oligarchs who had made their money in the 1990s and gave them to his friends.
A lot of money that was his, he has basically handed over to oligarchs for safekeeping.
They include Yuri Kovalchuk, the billionaire chairman of Bank Russia, is also the bank's largest shareholder and has been called one of Putin's cashiers, Arkady Rodenberg. He grew up alongside Putin in St. Petersburg, and for a time was Putin's judo sparring partner.
Yevgeny Prigozhin, a secretive oligarch dubbed Putin's chef because his company oversees catering for the Kremlin and other state agencies.
Putin's cashier.
So that cake, shall we?
Putin's chef. Putin's dog walker. They call him that because he walks Putin's dogs. But yeah, essentially, when
Sorry for the flicking, it does that sometimes.
In Russia, a bunch of lucky dudes were just handed the keys to entire industries that used to be owned by the government. And they became super rich. Yeah, those are the oligarchs. And when Putin came to power a decade later, a new generation of his buddies became oligarchs too. So clearly it pays to be Putin's friend. I mean, sure, you're the one who has to take those prospects, but I mean, in the end,
because we're definitely not the code.
Yeah, make sure you get entire horse. And think a lot so I have options. But still, why sanction Putin's friends over the war in Ukraine? Well, it's because they're Putin's friends. And that means that if you maybe make their lives shittier, maybe they'll try to talk some sense into him. And let's be honest, man, that's life. Rich people complaining is how shit always gets done. That's how colonization happened. Rich people were like, my food has no flavor.
Imagination and communication is not the greatest.
To sanction these oligarchs, America and Europe need to access their wealth. But that's a question, right? I mean, how can you get to all of this Russian
imagination
money?
on her.
Well, because it turns out none of the money is actually in
We'll fix it.
Oligarchs around the Putin regime use Western countries, Western banks, and Western for the wealth that they're stealing from the people of Russia.
Billions and billions of dollars stolen and then laundered through Western banks.
I need these twins to age up before the vampire baby ages up. I put auto age on so I can do the challenge properly.
In offshore accounts, as the entire Russian population has in Russia.
That is, in many ways, Russia's Achilles heel in all of this. Suddenly now, governments suddenly start seizing hotels, football teams, yachts, homes. It will certainly get the attention of the most powerful people in Russia by hitting them where it hurts.
That's right. Oligarchs own shit everywhere. Real estate in New York, oligarch money. Sports teams in Britain, oligarch money. That couch you're sitting on right now. Well, I mean, you bought that, but check between the cushions.
Dobby.
And look, man, I get why. I get why these guys want to buy football teams in London or luxury apartments in New York or park their yachts in Saint-Tropez. Because, I mean, let's be honest, spending money in Russia, that isn't as much fun. I mean, the yacht experience is just not the same if you have to wear a bathing suit over your fur coats. And look, for a long time, it didn't matter that these bushwhackers kept all their wealth in the West. But that changed real quick when these sanctions started getting passed. And now, they're all well aware that their assets are in bigger danger than Mike Pence at a Trump rally.
Russian oligarchs are scrambling to secure their assets as the U.S. works to enforce sanctions against the ultra-rich surrounding President Vladimir Putin. Here at the Plaza Hotel, a $50 million Russian-owned apartment is reportedly up for sale before it can be seized.
Oligarchs scrambling commercial-sized aircraft to safe havens they hope will be beyond the reach of U.S. and international law enforcement.
Dobby.
Tracking data showing many of their largest vessels sailing toward the Maldives, where they will be harder to seize.
Now, as pressure grows on the ultra-wealthy, some oligarchs are starting to call publicly for an end to the war.
We've counted up to 8 billionaires who have spoken publicly, which is really unprecedented. This has never happened before.
Yeah, because of these sanctions, and because they're afraid of losing stuff, a bunch of these oligarchs are already speaking out against Putin's war. Please, we must think of this war's impact on innocent children. That is the name of my yacht, Innocent Children. She does not deserve this. Please, look at her. But you can see how spooked these oligarchs are, right? They're moving their planes, they're sailing out to sea, they're swallowing condoms full of gold. And like, I know all this stuff is complicated, but it does seem a little counterproductive that these guys had enough warning to take all of these measures, don't you think? Yeah, it's like giving your teenage son a heads up that a week from now, you're going to look through his internet history. And by the time you get there, all you're going to find is a Google search for, why isn't there a second Mother's Day? Oh. But the real question is, will putting pressure on these oligarchs be enough to end this war? Well, to help answer that, we go to our very own Roy Wood Jr., who is reporting live from international waters. Roy, what is your reporting telling you?
You know, Trevor, I've been hearing all this noise about how evil and corrupt these oligarchs are, but I've been doing some personal investigating, and it turns out these oligarchs are very decent, kind people. They're just good people. Oh, more caviar.
Roy, are you on a super yacht right now?
That's right. I needed to investigate firsthand. That's why I searched up and down this yacht for dirt on these oligarchs, Trevor. I looked in the massage parlors. I looked in the cigar lounge. I looked in the casino. Back to the massage parlors. Then I was on the deck checking out the sunrise yoga. Then back to the massage parlors again. I did. You know what I'm talking about, man. Damn, this is a nice-ass yacht, man. I tell you this much.
Roy! Roy!
Huh? What's up?
Hey Dave, tell me when to stop. Hey Dave?
I'm sorry, what?
Tell me when to stop.
Huh?
Tell me when to stop.
Stop.
So, she can be gluten. She can't have any gluten.
Wait, this is what oligarchs do. Do you not understand? They use their money to corrupt everyone around them so that they can get away with their evil deeds.
Oh, so now it's evil to build a fortune on the back of a murderous regime?
Yeah.
And I doubt it. Next thing you know, you don't tell me it's evil to produce a lot of dirty money and avoiding taxes that can be used to help the rich and yeah. And if I accept their dirty money and allow their personal system outside of it, let me guess. You're saying that I'm somehow complicit in this evil?
Yes, Roy.
Damn, I was hoping you would say no, man. That's some heavy shit. Better think about this over some dodo birds. Oh, yeah, that's dodo right there. Good dodo bird over there.
But aren't dodo birds extinct?
They are now. We've been working.
You know what? That's enough, Roy. I'm suspending your reporter license. Just get back to America. Get back to America, Roy. All right, we're going to take a quick break. But when we come back, the great Sandra Oh is going to be joining me on the show to talk about Pixar.
If you can hear me, Blue, tell me when to stop.
This guy, Roy.
My brother. You ain't never had dodo? We got some woolly mammoth down there in the freezer. Let it thaw out for you. Check out this Virgo.
It's all I've been looking for and so much more, and now I'm here. Now you're here. Can't go wrong on my
Perfectionist.
Esso has big news. Now you can redeem PC Optimum points at Esso stations on car washes and fuel. So every trip to the pump is a reason to celebrate. At least we think so.
Yeah, they're dirty by me.
It is? Yeah.
Gonna move you guys into this room.
Or we can just watch it on the Five TV app. Watch anywhere on any device with the Five TV app.
Step 1 in my 26-step macaron recipe. Separate the egg yolks from the whites, then age the whites 3 days.
3 days?
I'm worried about step 2.
All the flavor,
That's step 1.
none of the work. Crispy minis. At 90 calories per serving, they're unexpectedly flavorful.
In times of need, we show up, make sacrifices to help people we know and people we don't. And right now, patients across Canada need donors more than ever. They need you to give life-saving blood and plasma, give second chances with stem cells, organs, and tissues. They need you to show up.
No, we raised these set of twins. Now we have
Because
to
they
fill
do.
to put them in.
So give today at blood.ca.
Even best. I wouldn't even know where to start.
Dude, just use TD Easy Trade.
Okay, maybe we should try for next.
Ready to help you move forward.
Maybe an alien?
This is Matt. He's using the MailChimp Customer Journey Builder. It helps businesses automate their marketing to stay top of mind with customers. So now, Matt can focus on making bigger...
I know, David. I'm going that way soon.
Journey Builder has helped businesses achieve 4 times more orders. MailChimp, built for growing businesses.
She's looking up at me like, come on, let's go. Yep, I need to lose weight. Sorry, my Sims need to lose weight. Wait, I think I'll leave her hair like that. That looks cute. No. Outfit.
So, I mean, it's an amazing thing to be a part of, like, the Pixar canon. It's, like, crazy. You know what I mean? And then it really, really unabashedly talks about, like, puberty. And that scene is kind of, like, about a changing of a young woman's body, about menstruation, and then also about, like, Mom, you gotta give me some space. So, you know, playing the mom, it was a really great thing to kind of learn that voice, my little voice.
It's a fun, you know, it's so interesting to me how Pixar has found a way to tell stories that people are almost afraid to tell in any other medium now. You know, Pixar's talking about mental health. Pixar's talking about life and death. Pixar's now talking here about puberty.
Yeah.
And in like a very real way where I think parents, kids, it's almost like Pixar is taking over the role of, you know, the conversations that people don't want to have. You know, if you have kids, they're like, puberty's coming. Let's go watch a Pixar. Let's go have a Pixar movie.
But I think it's like, so my friends who have taken their kids, particularly like 8 to 12, or right before it, they've struck up conversation. My friend, she has a, you know, 8, 9-year-old kid, and he was like, what's a pad?
I love that.
Right? And then she's like, okay, he's asking me a question about it. Let's talk about it. What are hormones? Oh my gosh, someone was telling me that they had a conversation with their 12-year-old or 10-year-old about metaphor. Do you know what I mean? So, like, the panda, like, so basically the main character, Maylin Lee, she's like a 13-year-old Chinese-Canadian girl, right? When she gets overwhelmed, like puberty, that she poofs into this giant red panda, right? But the panda is like a metaphor for a lot of stuff. So you can just have the discussion of what is metaphor.
I love that. Yeah. Is it true that somebody told you, I think it was an agent, that you should just leave America? They're like, go home. There's no room for you. And they weren't saying it to you, like, get out of here. They were saying, like, hey, I'll be honest with you.
Yeah.
An Asian actress, man, there's no space for you in this industry.
Yeah, it's like rushing. Do you know what I mean? Like, you're 21 and you have like a certain amount of credits. You know, having been born and raised in Canada, at that point, I've already done films. I've already done like A-list theater. I won awards, and it just like didn't matter at that time. So when we're talking about, you know, the mid 90s, right? So it's like, again, it's like some of the projects that I'm working with. It's amazing to age because you get like perspective, right? So like I'm doing like a press tour with Joey. She's a millennial, our director, right? And all these young girls, right? Rosalie Chang, she's 16. My trainee, Ramakrishnan, she's like 20. And it's like I feel like so great to go, girls, you know, welcome, and to kind of help them out a little bit, because I'm not saying that everything has changed and we can't stop kind of working at, you know, I hate kind of like the word like diverse storytelling, because I feel it's like, well, it's marginalizing, you know,
sometimes it feels like people use it as like a tokenism thing. People use it as like a pandering. I think of it as originality. That's how I think of it.
That's exactly it.
You know, it's like at some point stories will become the same. Yeah. Okay? And then the more you try and branch out and find new stories to tell, you have to find new people to tell those stories with. And I find that becomes more interesting. That, you know,
absolutely. I totally agree. And the fact that it's also like,
that's cute.
So
Domi,
right?
twin.
She did her Oscar-winning short Bow, and then so she was picked up by Pixar. I want to say like out of Sheridan College. She's so talented, and then after that, then she got her shot to do this because they're smart. I'm sorry, Pixar is smart. They're like the way that they consciously make films. It's all about the filmmaker, right? And that whole thing about originality, uniqueness. It's like we want to grow the storytelling canon because I feel, you know, I get this question a lot, which is like, oh, you work with women a lot. Like, you look at the women a lot, and it's like, it's true. It's true because that's what hires me, by the way. So all throughout my career, the majority of people who I've worked with regarding like writer-directors, right? Women of color, right? So what is it? One, why do I work with them? One, they hire me, but two, I think now it's like, oh, because, you know, Shonda Rhimes is writing characters from her perspective as a woman. Phoebe Waller-Bridge is writing her perspective as a woman. Same with, obviously, Domi Shi in this other movie that I have coming out on by Ira Shim. It's like a young woman's perspective, so she wants. So that's what's interesting, because it's like coming from a point of view that I'm interested in. They're interested in, like, you know, me doing that work for them, and so that's.
Time to settle down. It's almost bedtime.
I think it's working out.
Time to settle down. No, you can't have any I already ate it. Does it smell good?
As a consumer,
Did it
I love
smell
that I get
good?
to enjoy it. I mean, I'm
It
sad
was
that
good,
TV is
just in
coming
case
to
you
an
were
end.
wondering.
You know, that's been quite a journey, and you've left your imprints on that. What are you looking forward to?
You know, I gotta tell you, like, I'm sure, like many of us, this time during the pandemic, it really brought the thought inward. And also at this deeply in the midlife part of my life, I think the assessment of what is important and what I choose to put my time into is becoming more and more important. That's why, like an actor, it's just like you just want a job. You just want to work. So one of the things that I was able to practice after Grey's is I'm just going to sit. I'm going to sit and be uncomfortable because the usual desire to make a move or to try and get work or like, you know what I mean? Which is eventually, hopefully, the stuff that you have to grow out of.
Right. It's hard.
It's hard.
Yeah.
Right? So I feel just kind of continuing that, taking, it's not like a little break, but like being discerning.
I love that. Discerning, enjoying the moments. Yeah. And at least we get to enjoy all the work that you've been doing for the last few years. It's coming out now. Thank you so much for joining on the show. And
to have these guys dressed in.
Oh, thank you so much.
Appreciate you so much. All right, people. Turning Red will be available March 11th on Disney+. You have no excuse not to watch it. Disney+. You got it. All right, we're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back after this.
Oh no. Disaster. Sophie Chan accidentally ordered just one dipping sauce. So, even though the boys aren't talking to each other again, they'll just have to share. What a terrible thing to have happened. Completely by accident.
What if you could unlock more from your kids growing up by earning rewards points when using your debit card?
Did you fuck off and go to bed already?
I think so.
Get $300 when you switch to RBC.
He was over here wrestling with the cat, and I literally turned to him and said, "Hey, settle down, it's bedtime." Fucking went to bed?
Don't stop being unstoppable, Canada.
HelloFresh. Just about everything you need to make home cooking easy. Whatever your plans, from midweek meals in minutes to show-stopping family feasts, you're covered. Order your box now at HelloFresh.ca.
I fucking did, dude. I fucking told him, settle down, it's bedtime. He fucked off, he's in there sleeping in his bed.
No, he's not.
Well, he was, but that's because I went to bed.
Is it? You just cleaned that bowl?
There's a clean one in the rack.
Can you grab me some Lucky Charms?
Yep.
Okay, once I get back, I'm gonna save it, and I'm gonna call it a night, and I'll come back and play again tomorrow. But let me know. Should I go after try for another vampire baby, or should I try for an alien baby this time? Yeah. 4 human babies. I got a baby from Vlad, which is a vampire. Alien it is. Just remind me tomorrow. I'll go to Strangeville and see what I can hook up with.
What I believe in can't be contained. I believe with the right tools, we can turn what we love into...
I already did vampire. Vlad. The new baby, that's what she is a vampire.
There's goodness in everyone. Cadbury Dairy Milk.
When it feels like all that's left.
Oh my god.
It's time to play again.
Hey, hiccups.